Welcome back to the MMA Business Hour, everyone. In today's episode, we're going to discuss the 3 best bets for UFC 291, Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Piorier. Okay, before we get into the video, I'm going to do another giveaway for August. We didn't quite make the 4,000 subscribers with the Stipe giveaway, but I think you guys are going to like this a little bit better. All right, we're going to do a Colby Chaos Covington autograph photo authenticated by JSA. To get into the running, to get this autograph photo, all you have to do is in the comments below, write the word subscribe. And if we get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of August, I'm going to send this to one lucky fan. Okay, let's get into the 3 best bets for UFC 291. The first best bet for UFC 291 is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson to get the win over Michel Pereira. Do it money line. Earlier in the week, if you look on Tapology, the odds are all the way for Stephen Wonderboy Thompson at minus 195. But recently, there's been some betting movement ongoing on Michel Pereira, which I think is a huge mistake by some bettors. So, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson at minus 155, bet slip. I'm going to put a $25 bet on Wonderboy Thompson live with you guys right now. All right. The reason why I like Wonderboy in this fight is because of the experience Wonderboy has in these type of fights. I think this fight could play out very similar to the Kevin Holland fight, where Michel Pereira is going to try all these crazy moves and he's going to find no luck actually locating Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and hurting him. And I think another factor that a lot of people are overlooking is like this fight is happening in Salt Lake City, Utah, which is at elevation. And Michel Pereira, he doesn't fight at elevation normally, right? And he does all these crazy movements that are going to blow out his gas tank. He's doing these jumping knees and flying kicks and cartwheels and elbows and jumping off the cage and all these crazy big movements. And I think Wonderboy is going to be able to mitigate all that stuff. I don't think Pereira is going to be able to find Wonderboy. I think Wonderboy is going to be able to use his bounce, stay on the outside, and avoid all those big looping shots and big movements. And I think he could have some success early in the fight, but as the fight goes along, Wonderboy is going to figure him out, he's going to piece him up, and Pereira is going to gas out. Mark my words. I think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson might actually finish this fight, but I think the best and smartest bet we can make, guys, is doing the minus 155 money line bet on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He's got a slight reach advantage and all that experience. I mean, Wonderboy, you know, the only fights he really loses, guys, are to guys that are taking him down. Like the losses to Gilbert Burns and Bilal Muhammad. Look, but like all the strikers, Jeff Neal, Vicente Luque, Kevin Holland, he beats them. And I don't see any chance that Pereira is going to take Wonderboy down, hold him down, and grind out a victory. So that's why my number 1 bet is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, moneyline at minus 155. My second bet that I placed this week was Dustin Piorier to get a win, moneyline at minus 150 over Justin Gaethje. It's absolutely insane to me that the first fight between these two guys was 5 years ago. Jesus, man. It feels like yesterday these two shared the octagon and absolutely beat the brakes off each other. It was an amazing fight, and I see this fight playing out a lot like the first fight. I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth exchanges on the feet, but I think Dustin Poirier's easiest path to victory is taking this fight to the mat. Justin Gaethje is a very one-dimensional fighter. He has his leg kicks. He likes to finish combinations with the left hook. He's been adding the uppercut to his game a little bit, but he's not going to take him down. So Dustin Poirier doesn't have to worry about that at all. All he's got to do in this fight is check those leg kicks because Justin Gaethje loads up on those leg kicks, and that's how he lost the first fight. He loaded up on a leg kick. Poirier timed it perfectly with that left hand right down the pipe, and he was able to get the finish. This fight is going to be very similar, I think, but I think this fight could end earlier. Dustin Poirier gets better and better and better. If he gets this fight to the ground and uses that top pressure like he did against Conor McGregor, I think that'll be a lot easier path to victory than kind of just standing with Justin Gaethje and hope he lands first. But at minus 150, I like Dustin Poirier here. I think he's the more complete fighter. He has a lot more different wrinkles in his game. He's got better boxing. He's got slicker boxing. And I think Justin Gaethje at this point in his career is very predictable. He drops his hands when he puts those leg kicks on, so sometimes Poirier might want to just eat a leg kick to drop that left hand on his chin. And I don't know how much longer Justin Gaethje is going to be able to take this punishment, man. The amount of brain damage Justin Gaethje has acquired over his stint in the UFC is absolutely unbelievable. His brain's going to give out on him sooner rather than later. It's only a matter of time. And Dustin Poirier is one of the hardest punchers in the UFC. And I think Dustin Poirier is actually going to win this fight by finish within 3 rounds. I'm going to wait to see what the under 3.5 rounds prop is later in the week once it comes out. But for right now, it's great odds on Dustin Poirier. I think they're up to minus 155 now. I got in a little earlier in the week at minus 150. I think as the week goes forward, they could push to minus 175 or minus 195. So if I were you guys, get the bets in earlier rather than later. So the number 2 pick of the week for me is Dustin Poirier money line to beat Justin Gaethje. All right, here we go. We're going to go on to the third and final pick for UFC 291. I'm going to throw a little parlay action at you guys. 3 picks. We're going to do a 3-leg parlay starting with Matthew Semelsberger, Marcos Rogerio de Lima, and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I already broke down why I think Wonderboy Thompson is a great bet for UFC 291, so let's get into the other 2 fights. First, we're going to start out with Matthew Semelsberger, who's actually a great bet too at minus 195. He's fighting Uros Medic, and Medic is coming up in a weight class, and Semelsberger is just a big guy for the weight class. He's going to bully him, I think. He is more durable. I just think he's a better all-around fighter. I think these odds should be more like minus 250, so I love Semelsberger here. I think he's a bigger puncher. I just don't see a chance where Uros wins this fight. And another fight I like is the Marcos Rogerio de Lima. He's fighting Derek Lewis. And Derek Lewis is not the same guy from 5-6 years ago when he was knocking everybody out. And this fight is also happening at elevation. So I think Rogerio de Lima, who's also a good bet at minus 185, is going to take Derek Lewis to the ground and grind out either a decision victory, get a submission, or just ground and pound him into the ground. I think Derek Lewis is going to gas out. His gas tank is terrible. It's almost as bad as his ground game is. So I think De Lima has a lot of paths to victory, either just taking him down, using that top pressure, ground and pounding him out, or working towards his back and getting a submission. And that is a great parlay piece. So we're getting plus 270 odds when you parlay these 3 fighters together. Semelsberger, De Lima, and Thompson. Probably my favorite bet of the night. I might even put some more money down on it. I only put a $10 bet initially, but the more research I've been doing over the course of the week, I want to see what they look like on the scales on Friday. But I think De Lima is going to smoke Derek Lewis, and I think Semelsberger is just going to be too big and too strong, too powerful for Medic, and that's why I love this 3-leg parlay. Let me know in the comments below who you guys betting on this weekend. Do you have any fun bets for me? Any good parlay actions? There are some really good fights this weekend at UFC 291. And don't forget, write subscribe in the comments down below, and you'll be in the running for the Colby Covington autograph photo where he's smoking Jorge Masvidal in one of the most epic fights we've seen in years. I'm excited for Colby to get back into the octagon. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later. There's rumors that he's going to be fighting Leon Edwards at MSG, maybe the co-main event for the Stipe John Jones fight. But thanks for tuning into this fight. I hope you like the bets. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and we'll catch you guys on the next fight. Peace!